In this video, we'll be taking a look at all the Sonic the Hedgehog food and drink items released at the time of peak, old-school Sonic Mania during the early to mid-1990s in the UK. There was a lot of it. So, before we begin, do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe for high-quality evergreen Sonic and Sega videos, and be sure to let me know if you've tried any of the stuff I mention here in the comments below. Two things to mention before we begin. Although I've hoarded a lot of Sonic stuff over the years, I always drew the line at keeping food and drinks packaging. After all, the last thing I needed was my house to look like the stage set of Cats. As a result, I've acquired most of these images from around the internet. Credits for the photos will be shown on screen, and links to any websites they came from will be in the description below. But just to clarify, I have eaten everything featured in this video. So yeah, I'll give you my first-hand knowledge and Sonic food expertise on the subject. I've also added a few of my own images taken from this issue of Sega magazine, as they were higher quality than anything I could find online. Let's begin! Savory food. Let's kick off this list with the school lunch menu. Benson's released these Sonic Crisps,
or potato chips,
if you're American, in 1992. They came in 3 flavors, spicy tomato, salt and vinegar, and cheese, and were available as individual packs or packs of 6 for the stupidly low price of 89p. To be honest, they weren't really crisps, more corn snacks in the vein of Quarterbacks or Transformer Snack, and they fell into the same budget category as those snacks too. Still decent though, loosely shaped around Sonic's head I guess, and the spicy tomato ones were the best.
IMO.
How about something healthy to go in with that school lunch? In 1993 or maybe 1994, Unigate released Mega Milk to tie in with the release of Sonic 3. I didn't know where to get this stuff at the time, but my friend had it delivered by the milkman, and he used to bring it into school. I was so jealous. I'm not really sure why though, as this was literally just a carton of milk, but with some Sonic and other Sega characters on the carton. There were tie-in stickers and tips and cheats books you could get too, presumably if you signed up to have Mega Milk in your Unigate delivery. But maybe you've got a thirst on and it's too hot for milk.
Milk was a bad choice.
Well, don't worry, as the good people at Fanta had you covered in 1994 with Sonic Fanta, otherwise known as the Sonic Cool Can, the drink with attitude. It was available in 3 flavors. Zones? The regular orange zone, the apple zone, and the raspberry zone. You could get them in the standard 330ml cans and these pointlessly small, I guess, sample size cans. When I was a kid, I didn't like fizzy, carbonated drinks, but as soon as Sonic Fanta dropped on the scene, it was all I ever wanted to drink. So I'd force down a drink I didn't like, repeatedly, because Sonic was on the can. Looking back at it, it was absolute madness. Anyway, it was literally regular orange Fanta, and also apple and raspberry versions of Fanta too. Let's look into some more substantial Sonic meals now, starting with this pasta from HP, from 1992-ish, I think. I like the package design here. It looks great, but the inclusion of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik in all these game tie-in products will always rub me the wrong way, and you'll notice that a lot in these products. Anyway, this stuff was just hard pasta that you'd cook by boiling it. But from memory, it was shaped like Sonic characters. Sonic and Badniks and so on. I can't quite remember. It was just pasta though. But pasta rules, so I give this product a 10 out of 10. If boiling water sounded like too much hard work, HP also had you covered with these tinned Sonic pasta shapes in tomato sauce that you could heat in the microwave. There was also a version of them with sausages inside too, all caked in a thick tomato sauce. Loads of cartoons had tins of pasta shapes like this. The taste was identical for all of them. The Sonic pasta was shaped like Sonic, and apparently that's Sally Acorn, and also the Badniks Chopper, Ballhog, Batbrain, and Orbanaut. Thinking about it, these were most likely the same pasta shapes that HP used in the hard pasta version too. Moving on, I'm not sure these next ones count, but both Burger King and McDonald's had Sonic's Kids Club and Happy Meals respectively in the 1990s. In 1992, Burger King released these. I actually still have the classic Robotnik spinning top toy to hand as I'm recording this. We also got Sonic 3 toys in Happy Meals in 1994. The Happy Meal box depicted various zones and were very cool. But unfortunately, in my opinion, we were into the territory of getting Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog Robotnik in our Western tie-ins by this point, which again looks weird to me, as his design is completely different from the game that this meal is promoting. Anyway, you know what these are? They're just Burger King and McDonald's meals. The savory Sonic foods were, admittedly, a bit lacking, but thankfully, in the early 1990s, you could turn any meal into a Sonic meal using Daddy's official Sonic the Hedgehog tomato ketchup. Look at this weird bottle. There are a few different designs available. Anyway, this was just red ketchup from a recognizable British brand with a silly name. It's ketchup, I don't know what else to say. Now let's get into the fun stuff, with confectionery and other sweets. If you were a Sonic fan who grew up in the 1990s,
In Britain.
get ready for an image you'll be able to taste. Burton's Sonic the Hedgehog toffee-flavored bite-sized biscuits. These things were effing delicious, and probably the single greatest Sonic food product to ever be released. Shaped like Sonic and Tails, these small packs of biscuit treats came in bags that could be stuck together to make a larger picture, which for some reason included the Pink Sally from the Sat AM pilot. Or possibly it's the early Archie Comics version. I'm not sure. It was strange though, but the biscuits were truly an S-rank snack. Next up, we have Sonic Blue candy sticks with cards. These chalky sugary treats were as bog standard as they come in Britain, and probably still are. The difference the Sonic ones had from other candy sticks is that they were blue. They tasted exactly the same though. The pack has the awesome USA cover art for Sonic 3, and they also came with cards. I remember being disappointed with these back in the day, as I was expecting a bunch of Sonic cards, but they actually covered loads of different Sega games. On the backs of the cards were game tips and some lore. Pretty cool actually. Oh, here's a forgettable one. Sonic Chocolate Rolls. These were just standard chocolate mini rolls wrapped in Sonic packaging. If you've had a roll like this in the past, you've basically had the Sonic ones too. Nothing else to say, and the picture's super grainy, so let's move on. Next we have Sonic Fizzy Cola Spinballs from Bassett's. I can't remember the year, but having Spinball in the name probably suggests that they were released around the same time or after Sonic Spinball. And I guess if you're American, you'd call these
Hard candy.
I don't know. They were cola in flavor and were sold in tubes wrapped in this design. Little Sonics in a spin attack position were also sculpted onto the sweets, which was pretty cool. And these were nice. Finally, in this category, we have the Sonic Bubblegum from Topps, released in 1993 or 1994-ish. These were sold in the USA too, but I picked these up in my local newsagent, so I assume they had UK distribution as well. The most appealing thing about this is obviously the container itself. It's a little Sonic. The nose was made of a rubbery material, most likely rubber, and could break off easily though, so you had to handle these with care. Anyway, if you flipped Sonic around and ripped off the back of his head, you could feast on his insides. In this case, the contents of his head were some hard bubblegum pieces. I can't remember the taste or flavour of these though. I was in it for the toy. Additional entry in this category for the hell of it. Milky Way had Sonic and Knuckles on the packaging for a while to promote the game when it released. There was also a competition to win a Mega Drive and a copy of the game. But these were just Milky Ways with a time promotion. So let's move on to seasonal and special occasion foods. From what I remember, there was a bunch of Sonic Easter eggs released over the years in the UK. But try searching for them now to jog your memory, and this is what you'll find. Damn you, Sonic movie! But there was definitely this one from frozen supermarket chain Iceland, which also came with a Sonic mug based on the Blue Spheres stages from Sonic 3. I had one of these, but unfortunately the mug fell to its death from a kitchen table a long time ago. There was also this, another Sonic Easter egg, which also came with chocolate coins. From what I recall, they were just standard miscellaneous chocolate coins that were packed with many British Easter eggs at the time. The cardboard is, as is usually the case with Easter eggs, the only thing that makes this Sonic. I'm certain there were more Sonic Easter eggs, and unless I'm going crazy, I'm sure there was one which came with Sonic-shaped gummies inside it too. But I can't find mention of it online, so if you know what I'm talking about, Please let me know in the comments so I know I'm not insane. Up next, here's a Sonic birthday cake, sold in Sainsbury's in 1994. This is the only image I can find, and it's from Sega magazine. But I bet if I was to dig out the family photo albums at my parents' house, younger me would have insisted that many photos were taken of the Sonic cake. If I find any, I'll include them in this video. Anyway, I've had a few Sonic cakes over the years, as you might imagine, but this is the #1 Member Berries one for me. I can't for the life of me remember what it tasted like though. Generic kid's birthday party cake, I believe. Finally then, let's get festive. Here's a Cadbury's Chocolate Bar Festive Selection Pack, released in Christmas of probably 1993 or 1994. I'm sure I remember seeing these on sale in a Woolworths back in the day. And sure enough, after expressing my interest in front of my parents, I woke up to one on Christmas morning. Nice artwork. The last thing I wanted to mention is a product that I'm not sure even existed. I have a memory of being a child and going into a shop, possibly a Woolworths, and having some Sonic Gummies from a pick and mix. I distinctly remember these fruit-flavored gummies in the shape of Sonic and Moto Bug and a few other badniks. I'm fairly sure it was a real thing and not a dream, that these actually existed, but I can't find any mention of them anywhere online. I've also got a feeling I had the same gummies, although maybe a slightly smaller version, in one of the Sonic Easter eggs I mentioned earlier. So if you ever had these, or if you can confirm that these things existed, please let me know in the comments so I know whether or not I'm going crazy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have you eaten any of the foods I've mentioned on this list? What was your favorite? Have I missed any? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you next time.